Welcome to part 2 of our RTSP 4.1 Cert Submission Training. This is the video series and we are on part 2 of 2. In part 1, we began the process in the new version of RTSP of uploading an NSF certificate submission. We had explained the new elements of the certificate submission processing page. We loaded our detail files. We talked about the new data key information section. We want to remind everyone that your asset portfolio information is accessible in the submission information section. Also, when we scroll down to the upload submission files, you'll notice that we were utilizing an AI uploaded certificate. In addition, you're always required to generate a system certificate for the purposes of comparison. In this case, we elected to proceed with the AI uploaded certificate, so in the case that that's what we're doing, we will see a check mark next to the system. So when we follow the process of using an AI uploaded certificate, the check mark indicates that that file is the system of record. If we were not uploading a certificate and using the system generated certificate, the check mark would be on the other certificate file. Picking up where we left off, we had just finished generating our RDVP scorecard. In the new system, there are two ways you can view the errors. By clicking on the failed label, you will see a PDF file similar to the RDVP scorecard you reviewed today. We're going to go ahead and navigate to our failure. Let me point out that you will notice a new column in the RDVP scorecard, and that column is called Override. The purpose of the Override column is to visually indicate to the AI if they have a failed check that is not overridable. If you are in that scenario, you will not be able to proceed. You would be required to correct that issue either by uploading a corrected detail file or editing your certificate. In this case, because there is no value in the override column, that would indicate that check number 9404 is overridable. And for the purposes of this demonstration, and so that we can show you the override process, we're going to go ahead and proceed to get an override on this check. In addition to looking at the standard PDF version of RDVP, you can also look directly in the user interface by clicking the View RDVP Asset Detail link. Clicking that link will navigate you to the RDVP Asset Level Summary page. Now, in the case of the example we're using today, you can see that the RDVP check number is not highlighted because this is not an asset level failure. Had this been an asset level failure, you would have a hyperlink on the RDVP check number, which would allow you, just like we showed you in source validation, to see those FDIC asset IDs that were involved in the failure or the warning. Let's go ahead back now to our certificate submission processing page. The mechanics for an override are slightly different. In the new RTSP 4.1 version, the AI has the ability to upload override support documents before they even submit the file for processing. The reason that we see the upload buttons visible and enabled for a Word document or a PDF document or an Excel workbook is because we are in a failed status. We're going to go ahead now and demonstrate uploading an override support document. Similar to uploading any detail file, And this gives the AI the ability to provide their reason for requesting the override before they even submit the file for processing. They can go ahead and attach that information so the RSAM will have everything they need. Finally, we need to upload the signed cert PDF. And now we're ready to submit the submission for processing. One of the things that we didn't talk about yet, which is available to the AI at any time during the submission, is the data key information is now housed in the user interface. By clicking the Edit Data Keys link, we can navigate into the data key information, and we have now incorporated into RTSP the last file of record for every agreement for the data key files that used to be submitted manually. For the AI to add a key, they just simply click the Add Key button. They select the file type. They select the field name. They input their value and put in a short description. They select the FDIC allowable value that their value maps to, and they save it. By saving that record now, the system knows how to transform that data element appropriately. Now you can see this particular AI has two data key transforms for the inactivity reason. In addition to being able to view this information on the screen, you do have the ability to export it into an Excel workbook. Let's go ahead now and navigate back to the AI queue. And as you can see, the submission is now in the upload complete status. As you can see, many of the steps that were previously done after the submission are now done as part of the submission. At this point, the AI has completed processing and their submission is now in the FDIC hands for review. If the RSAM wanted to request additional information from the AI, they could do so, and that information could be put back into this same request. This concludes part 2 of the NSF certificate submission process.